You open the app without thinking. A face, a body, a vacation you didn't take, a promotion you didn't get. You close it and feel worse than before, and you can't explain why. You weren't even looking for anything, but something inside you was already measuring. That feeling isn't a flaw in your personality. It isn't vanity or weakness or something your therapist needs to fix. It is one of the oldest survival mechanisms your species ever developed. And the strangest part? It probably saved your ancestors' lives. Here's what nobody tells you about comparison. It isn't a bad habit. It's a biological imperative so deeply wired into your brain that trying to stop it cold is like trying to stop breathing. The question was never whether you would compare. The question your nervous system has always been asking is far more urgent than that. Am I falling behind? Am I losing my place? Will I survive? Go back. Go back about 150,000 years. You are not scrolling. You are not sitting in a chair. You are living inside a group of roughly 50 to 150 people, and that group is the entire world. There is no outside option. There is no moving to a new city and starting over. The group is everything. It is food. It is protection. It is mating. It is survival. And your position inside that group determines whether you live or whether you slowly disappear. So your brain evolves a tool, a relentless, automatic, incredibly fast scanning system that is constantly measuring. How strong are they? How respected? How much food do they control? How much do others defer to them? How do I compare? Not out of jealousy, out of necessity. The individuals in your ancestors' world who did not pay close attention to social status didn't just feel bad. They lost access to resources. They were deprioritized during scarcity. They were left behind. Psychologist Leon Festinger first named this process in 1954. He called it social comparison theory. His central observation was devastatingly simple. Human beings have a fundamental drive to evaluate their own opinions and abilities, and they do this primarily by looking at other people, not at abstract standards, not at internal benchmarks, at other people. Specifically, at people close enough to their own situation to be relevant. Festinger noticed something else. You don't compare yourself to someone so far outside your world that the comparison makes no sense. A medieval peasant didn't compare themselves to a king and spiral into despair, because that gap was so enormous it registered as a different species. The comparisons that hurt are the ones that feel almost close. The colleague who got the same degree you did, the sibling who started their business the same year you started yours. The friend who seems to have figured something out that you haven't yet. That closeness is the wound, and it was designed to be. Think about what that mechanism would have done for your ancestors. If someone in your group was getting more food, sleeping in a warmer spot, attracting more protection from others, you needed to know. Not because you were petty, because that information was a survival signal. It told you something about your position in the hierarchy. It told you whether you needed to act, to change something, to work harder, build an alliance, demonstrate a skill. Comparison wasn't cruelty, it was data. But here is where it breaks. That system was calibrated for a group of 50 to 150 people. People you knew. People whose lives you actually understood. People whose advantages were visible and whose struggles were equally visible. You saw their bad days and their ordinary ones. You knew what they sacrificed for the things they had. Now look at your phone. The number of people you are comparing yourself to every single day is not 50 to 150. It is millions. And every single one of them is presenting a curated highlight. Not their bad days. Not their failures. Not the decade of invisible work behind the achievement they just posted. Just the peak. Just the moment worth broadcasting. Your ancient comparison engine receives this as raw data and processes it the same way it would have processed a rival in your ancestral tribe getting more meat than you. As a signal, as a status threat, as a reason to activate the same low-grade alarm your ancestors would have felt when they noticed someone else rising. Except now, it never stops. There is always another person, always another peak, always another signal that says someone is ahead. Researcher Sherry Cohn at the University of Michigan found in a 2013 study that people who used Facebook more frequently reported lower life satisfaction, and this effect compounded with time spent on the platform. The more they scrolled, the worse they felt.